Thank y'all so much for coming. Thank you, Kiwanis, for putting on this great event. It's one of the great ones. I have a lot of fond memories of the Kiwanis Jamboree over the years. It's something I'm a fan of, and I played in it, back in 2008. I'm a spring chicken, but I want to congratulate the Queen. She walked out on us. I don't blame her. I understand. But I was going to tell her she needs to, just like my girlfriend does when she celebrates her birthday, she got to keep this thing rolling. Make this all about her for a month or a year, as long as she can. So shout out to the Queen. Our AD is with me today, Chris Ortego. I haven't known this guy very long, but we've become pretty good friends now. He does all the stuff in the background, the paperwork, all the LHSA paperwork, that nobody likes to do. So I'm very thankful for him that he handles all of that. And I probably wouldn't have even made it here today if he hadn't reminded me to be here. I'd have been, with my regular ed third-hour PE class leading the stretch routine, and y'all know how that goes, you coaches. Our principal, Miss Williams, she is not in attendance today, so that's probably, no surprise to everyone. Sporting events like this is not really her thing. She's more on the academic side, and that's no surprise coming from Lafayette High School. I just hope she doesn't check my lesson plans after this. But for you coaches, I've found a niche in the system. There's something called Chat GPT, and it's AI, basically, and it can do your lesson plans for you. So good luck with that. Y'all can thank me later. So when I got to Lafayette High about a week ago, my family was excited for me. My dad, he's been in the school system. He's Mike Kreamer. He was once a principal at Lafayette High back in the day, back in the 2000s. And then he was at St. Martinville for years, So he kind of keeps up with everything. But he told me, he said, well, now that you got the job, you're going to have to speak at the Crying Tower. And so I said, I'm not, I don't know if I want to do that. I'd rather just coach football. He said, well, you're going to have to, so you better get ready. And I said, okay, well, I'll probably just go up there and wing it. And he said, well, you better not do that either, son, because I've known you your whole life and you're not funny. He said, I know about 4 or 5 of those coaches that are going to speak up there personally, and they're all funnier than you. So you better have some notes, a game plan. You better get it right. So I was, we'll see. So wrote down some notes, but, they're over my head now. One thing, when I did play in this jamboree back in 2008, and Coach Gunner mentioned it, I completed 9 of 11 passes, and Kiwanis was so nice to me, they gave me the MVP award. The only problem, I threw 2 picks, and so my dad always reminds me that I threw 2 picks against St. Martinville in that year, and I guess they just felt bad for me that they gave me the MVP award. So he did tell me once you go up there, you better tell the Kiwanis people thank you for doing that favor for you. So Kiwanis, thank you for naming me MVP back in 2008, even though I probably didn't deserve it. But to me, when you go 9 of 11, you throw 2 picks, every ball was completed, so that's 100% passing efficiency. All right, so now I'll talk a little bit about football, our team. A lot of people ask me that question, how's your team going to be? What are y'all looking like? And, I've been stalling this whole time. I really don't have much to say about our team. I met them all a week ago. I don't even know these kids' names, okay? And everybody's got a nickname, so I'm trying to keep that in order. Just in our offensive backfield, we've got a kid that goes by Flip, a kid that goes by Shark, and one's Pencil. So I gave up on the names. I just call them, whatever. Hey, you. But one kid did come up and talk to me. I was sitting down looking at some paperwork or something, and he just walked up to me. He said, what's up, Coach? I'm him. And So I looked at him. I said, who? He said, I'm him. He kind of bowed up his shoulders like that. And I said, oh, okay, I got you. You're him. Well, him, do this for me. Take this paper, this physical packet, go to your nearest walk-in clinic, and get it filled out, bring it back to me tomorrow, and we'll see about getting you out there on the football field. So he brings it back the next day. He said, what's up, Coach? I'm ready. I'm him. I'm telling you, I'm him. I said, okay, him. So I look at his physical, and on the first line it says he's 5'8", 150. I said, son, you are not him. Those are my measurables, and I know you are not him. So the first day of school rolls around, and I don't know about all these other schools, but our kids line up in the front of the hall, in the front of the doors, and they have to go through the metal detectors, make sure everybody's safe, right? And so I thought it was a good idea our whole staff be there the first day to welcome the students into the school, make sure that our football players were doing right, dressed appropriately, shirt tucked in, belt on, whole 9 yards. All that stuff, and I got all my coaches with me. Some of them were with me at Patterson. So our players start rolling in, telling them good morning. They're coming through these metal detectors, and beep, 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 left and right. Every single one of them, they're setting the metal detectors off. So I'm kind of looking around. Okay. So I'm starting to sweat bullets a little bit. Now I'm worried about, I'm looking for Miss Williams, our principal. So thinking about what she's going to have to say. Then I start getting mad at our staff. I said, guys, we already dealt with this last year. It can't happen again. We got to get this right. We got to get these kids right. But anyways, more keep coming, setting off the metal detectors. So I kind of glance back there. I find Miss Williams, and she's looking at me. She's like, okay, Coach, it's good. It's just their band instruments. We're good. So their band instruments, we're setting it off. We got some, that's what we're known for, I guess, over at Lafayette High, our great band. So shout out band. Shout out Scotty Walker. You've done a good job, and you've paved the way for Lafayette High School. And don't even get me started on the freshmen. They're just a bunch of nerds that were there for the gifted program. But after we got done with the checking, all the kids walked through the metal detectors. Our defensive coordinator, Tremaine Lightfoot, he's also from Patterson. He told me, he comes up and says, he said, Coach, man, I'm not going to lie. I was kind of hoping we would have to bust some kids with some brass knuckles today. At least we know our football team would be tough. I said, you're not kidding, man. We're not at Patterson anymore. So anyway, I said, well, let's take the boys out, get dressed, and let's hit the field. So they go get dressed. They come out, and I'm not kidding you, these kids are in hard hats and Timberland boots because we're at a whole construction zone at our high school. Not kidding you, we got a whole new, supposed to be a new school being built. I'll believe it when I see it. So, but these kids are dressed in hard hats, Timberland boots. So I kind of looked at the staff, kind of trying to figure out what's going on. And so I said, anyway, well, let's go. Maybe we can run around in some Timberland boots. I don't know. We get to the practice field. That's destroyed. It's a dirt mound with caution tape and bulldozers all around. So that was a no-go. Then we said, well, okay, let's try and go to the game field now. So we walk over to the game field, and now the new band director told me we had to stay off of it. That was their field. So I just kind of threw my hands up, hey, yes, sir, type deal. And during moments like this, I really rely on my staff for help and insight and ideas, whenever I'm struggling with something. And our staff is a very young staff, but they're very good. They got a lot of energy, good ideas. But I'm the oldest guy on our staff, and I'm 32. I guess I'm a millennial. That makes them Gen Zs, so they can't do anything without their cell phones. Okay, but they're great with the cell phone, right? If I ever have a question or anything, they just Google it real quick, and they spit out the answer just like that, right? So, but, of course, with the construction, there's no Wi-Fi, so my coaches have been useless. So I said, you know what? I started getting upset. I'm pissed off now. And so I said, well, let's just go do a walkthrough. We're going to have to do that, guys. You got to regroup. So I said, head over to the boys' gym. AD tells me, he pops up, he goes, yep, you can't do that either, Coach. The boys' gym is being renovated. So plan B, say, okay, well, let's go to the girls' gym. we head over to the girls' gym, walk in there. The volleyball coach comes to me. She goes, "Coach, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, we were hoping we could get a little walkthrough in, just today because the fields are either the van deboed us or they're, the practice fields being a, dirt mound." She goes, "Well, first off, number one, you didn't reserve it. And number two, y'all aren't really that important around here." So coaches, just remember us whenever you got us on the schedule this year. Our football team is nothing but a bunch of flute players and gifted nerds. So just take it easy on us. Thank y'all.